So I'm just doing a video here. Ugusi, how does Iwong and Nyaupe, which is killing millions and millions of young black South Africans, youth in Siyaphele Iwong. So how does Wunga move from Afghanistan all the way here to South Africa? Njengoba sinenkinga la. So if you remember, in 2001, I think I was in grade 5 or 4. In 2001, there was the September 11 attacks in America. And then George Bush, what did he do? He went and invaded in Afghanistan in October sometime that year in 2001. So Afghanistan grows a plant called the opium poppy, the opium. Basically, opium is used for medicinal purposes, but then also for drugs. With the drug side, the heroin. So when George Bush attacked Afghanistan, the Taliban had full control of the opium, and it wasn't selling it because it's bad for the society. So what the Taliban needed then was weapons, and it needed money. So then opium grows in these parts of the world. Dry, I'm a desert. That's where it grows. So the Taliban starts producing the opium. So from Afghanistan, it smuggles the opium, opium to Pakistan. Pakistan, it's processed or whatever happens, and from Pakistan, it's changed into heroin. And then must see heroin isuka in Pakistan, and it travels all the way here. So it either goes to Somali or it goes to Kenya or it goes to Tanzania. Yabo. Or to Mozambique, Porto Terpato or something, yeah. So the Pakistanis, they're the first ones to get it. So then it goes to Somali. Somali is also a war-torn country. So when they also get it, they use it to fund Amalentele, to fund all of the wars and everything, the violence that the terrorists that are happening in Somalia. Ethiopia is also involved because they are the fifth biggest economy in Africa. So Banama supply chain, Nama routes, and all the funds to fund all of this. So when it lands here, so remember, like East Africa, these countries here, they speak Swahili. So this is where the word Wunga comes from. So Wunga comes from Swahili, which is a word that means white powder, Wunga. So Wunga comes as is called, yeah. So Wunga, the word Wunga comes from here. So it lands on these ports. Then it's transported either through Tanzania, Kenya, the DRC, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and it comes Lago Limpopo, or it comes through Manguzi, or comes through Maputo. But either way, it's coming through Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Botswana has very strict laws and everything. So it's very hard to move drugs through Botswana and Namibia. So it's mainly through Mozambique or through Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. I think it's Malawi here or something. So that's how it moves to South Africa. So as a South African, you should be worried that we have people from Pakistan coming to Durban or South Africa. You must really question how somebody from Pakistan all the way there is now, we have over 100,000 Pakistanis from here, which is why we're saying with illegal immigrants, these are the same people that are moving this drug along the supply chains and the lines. The Ethiopians are involved and the Somalians are involved. In South Africa, you find that there's a lot of Somalians running tuck shop. There's a lot of Pakistanis running tuck shops. There's a lot of Ethiopians running tuck shops. You know, all of these are part of a syndicate, a cartel or a syndicate that is pushing these drugs right through to South Africa, because South Africa is the best market in Africa. We have the highest citizens per capita amount of money to spend, basically. So it's Tolama Granti and all of these things. So this is why South Africa is a hotspot for selling drugs. So imagine this, from Pakistani, and then now you have a Pakistani illegal immigrant where in South Africa. Who funded this entire trip all the way here? Now they are human trafficked and they are brought to work in these tuck shops. And then they use this system called the Hawala system or something. I think it's spelled like this. It's the Hawala system, which means they do not even bank in my bank go absa and everything as a South Africa. They don't do that. So this is how Iwunga comes from Afghanistan to Pakistan to Somali or to Tanzania through to Mozambique and into South Africa. So when the Human Rights Commission and all of these guys are saying that the people are wrong for being angry about illegal immigrants, every undocumented foreigner from these countries, in Ethiopia is the 5th biggest economy in Africa. So why are Ethiopians coming to South Africa? Because we are actually in competition with them. These guys will speak about them in another part about what drugs are they bringing to South Africa, but mainly Iwunga comes from here. Iwunga comes from here through Pakistani, through Ethiopia and Somali, through Tanzania and Mozambique, and that's how Iwunga gets to South Africa. And that is the biggest drug that is currently affecting impilo zabantu in South Africa. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that, just so that you understand. You can read it up, but that is essentially how we have a Wunga problem in South Africa. Wunga is not even a South African name. South Africans can't manufacture Iwunga. It's impossible. So after 2001, when the Taliban started needing money, from 2004 onwards, it was already in the streets, and people thought it was ARV drugs. It was not ARV. It was heroin. It was opium. It was traveling from here. It was not ARV drugs. From the start, when it first came in Durban, I think from the 2004s, 2005, Wunga was already in the streets, and we had a lot of influx of Somalian people moving to Durban or to South Africa. So the influx of all of these people, you can check, is all associated with this drug. And then they use the money from the Spaza shop, and they send the money through the Hawala system, or Mukuru, which we can't track. And then they send the money back to these countries to fund all of these terrorist organizations that are fighting there. So this is why South Africa at one stage was grey listed by America. So America grey listed us because we were found to be funding terrorist organizations. It was through a matak shop na yonkinto from the Wunga. That's how they sell that's how the money gets back there. That's why they have shops that open 24 hours and all of these things. The people that work at those shops are trafficked from Ethiopia. You can't find a 16-year-old working in a tuck shop coming from Ethiopia or Somalia. It means that they were trafficked here illegally. So this is what we're dealing with as South Africans. So keep the fight up on illegal immigrants. It is not xenophobia. It is national security to protect ourselves.